Hello? Hello? Can anyone listen to me? Is it clear? Is it my voice clear? Let me start the session on personality development and soft skills. And this program is for BA, BCom, and BSc students, second semester. And this is for skill enhancement compulsory course, which is very important for a student to understand why it is important for a student because of two reasons. One is when you understand your own personality, you will be able to see what exactly you need, and accordingly you can act as well, right? So there are certain things which we should understand in our syllabus is we have core courses, some languages which is very important, which is very important. The first thing is language specific courses. This is a choice based credit system. You're right now in the third semester. This is for third semester students. And and this is a compulsory course where student will be able to understand what is personality, because again it is not something which is going to come overnight, but we can understand by two things: how to go about with your skills and what kind of emotions you have, and what is this self that we can understand. And the very important point is how to build a personality. So these are four units in personality development and soft skills. Skill enhancement compulsory course, it is second year third semester. What is personality? Understanding self is the second unit. Interpersonal skills is the third unit. And fourth unit is know your emotions, right? So these are four units that I am trying to cover today, because out of paucity, and we have only two sessions in Ambedkar University regarding this. What is personality? Is the first unit, questioning like why personality is important, and how it can be developed very positively. These are two points that we should be focusing on, right? Okay. Why this is not clear? I think. Okay. They're trying to show from this point of view. For the positive of there is a network issue here, so I thought I can go about with without video, because that is very important. Student can listen to me, and if you have any doubt and query, you can again get back, right? Okay. I don't find any students here, except I think B.R. Ambedkar University authentic um computer section people who are coordinating this. But anyway, I'll be taking the session so that it will be for recording. Yes, my dear students. Like, again, the network issue. Yes, let me start the lesson. In this block, you'll learn about aspects of an individual, which is often referred as personality. All of us know and understand about human beings, but psychologists have extremely researched on individuals' behavior and brought out several concepts, theories, and models so that we can understand individual better. The first unit is focusing on personality. We start this block by answering the question, what is personality? Second one is understanding the self. Core concept of personality is self, and awareness about self can play an important role in building and shaping the self. It is often claimed by personality research that self evaluation directs an individual towards building self esteem, confidence, and help us to answer like I, me, what I am, what I can do, etc., which have a bearing on relationships. So we are trying to see and understand the self from different perspectives. First is I, that is a first person perspective, and at the same time, the other perspective can also be from the other point of view, others' point of view, right? Interpersonal skills, and the last one is know your emotions. The fourth unit in this chapter, in this block, the basic of making or breaking interpersonal relationships may attribute to presence or absence of emotions, and emotions can be positive and negative. They impact the relationships in a healthy or unhealthy manner. In the present day, world problems and stress seems to arise due to ineffective management of emotions, knowledge about functions, and consequences, and management of emotions has an immense benefit to lead a life with peace and contentment. You can see 2 points here, which we start with Sigmund Freud's theory and Abraham Maslow's theory. What is the psychological and physical factors, how they are physiological and physical factors, how they are interconnected, how they influence the personality, environment or social factors. So these are certain things that we discussed in the personality development first unit. Let me read some points here so that we can understand what is personality, right? So I am again and again repeating this word because our course is relating to an overall development and growth of an individual, right? Personality is a complex, multifaceted topic. It is more comprehensive in its connotation than temperament or character, but we often confuse it with them. So there is a difference between what you call temperament or character, right? We can even call it in different words. We often identify with externals of an individual, his looks or her looks, voice, dress, manners, and gestures. When we remark, Jyoti has a wonderful personality or Sudha has a poor personality, the externals or physical appearance constitute only one factor in one's personality. They do not constitute the whole that is implied by the term personality. Personality refers to individual differences in characteristic pattern of thinking, feeling, and behaving. It may be different as a pattern of enduring distinctive thoughts, emotions, and behavior. See, it always influences how you feel, what kind of thought clarity you have. This all are going to be influential in personality or in improving the personality or in the view of personality. Okay, quote unquote, I'm quoting Gordon. Personality is a dynamic organization within the individual of those psychological systems that determine his unique adjustments to his environment. Unquote. In his definition, he tried to recognize the dynamic nature and organizational aspects of personality and tried to emphasize the role it can play in the individual's adjustments to his or her environment. We often hear and make comments like Rakesh is very timid or Geeta is very conscientious. These descriptive sentences refer to personality traits. So, we are trying to understand what is personality and what kind of traits we can see in different individuals depending on their ideas, thoughts, and feelings. A personality trait is a durable disposition to behave in a particular way in a variety of situations. Adjectives such as honest, dependable, moody, anxious, impulsive, domineering, excitable, friendly, describe dispositions that represent personality traits. A small number of fundamental traits determine other more superficial traits. For example, a person's tendency to become impulsive, restless, irritable, and boisterous or impatient might also be derived from a more basic tendency to be excitable. So, these are certain traits of personality. Now, let us see Sigmund Freud's theory. What is Sigmund Freud's theory, right? How we should understand in the light of understanding one's trait. Sigmund Freud's psychodynamic perspective of personality was the first comprehensive theory of personality, explaining a wide variety of both normal and abnormal behavior. And according to Freud, unconscious drives influenced by the aggression along with childhood experiences are the forces that influence our personality. Freud attracted many followers who modified his idea to create new theories about personality. These theories, referred to as neo-Freudians, generally agreed with Freud that childhood experiences matter. So there is a direct connection according to Freud what how the personality is going to be shaped. Maybe that is all the experiences based on the environment of a child. And some examples even we can see from the Freud psychology here, but they reduce the emphasis and focus more on social environment. Why? Because whenever the child is behaving in a very peaceful and calmful and amicable way, definitely the child is more we can call that kid or that child as a very normal child. But if the kid is behaving in a very aggressive manner and sometimes he's very moody or his movements are very unusual, then you can see there is a different kind of experiences that he is encountering in his own environment. These are few examples that we can see among the, and at the same time who followed Freud, they are called as neo-Freudians, right? One of the example is Carl Jung. Carl Jung's major contribution to the psychology and his description of two major personality traits are introvert and extrovert. So now we are trying to see who is an introvert and who is an extrovert. We all understand this, and all these people are the basic thing we should understand. It's not only from one individual that we are trying to see. Sometimes people can be completely introvert, sometimes they can be completely extrovert. So some are very hyperactive, some keep very quiet, right? So what kind of traits this person have got? So let us see. Whereas we are just trying to see what is an introvert and who is an introvert and who is an extrovert, right? Introversion is expressed as shyness, relax, reclusiveness, and inner directedness, whereas extraversion is manifested by friendliness, sociability, interest in people, and events in the external world. It doesn't mean like we can label all the introverts are not energetic or inactive, but their way of expression is different from the extrovert, right? Jung maintained, Carl Jung, right? We are speaking about Neo Freudian here. Carl Jung maintained that all of us have tendencies to be both introvert as well as extrovert. See, we all cannot behave in the same way depending on the situations and in our own, our own psychological balance, or we can call it in a simple word, mood. Right? Whenever we have a very happy mood, joyful mood, we wanted or the closed circles whom we know very well. For example, if you are at home, you are with your parents or with your spouse, with your children, and everything is going very well and it is a festive mood, then you may be behaving like an extrovert. You're talking to each other, speaking to each other, helping each other. And this is a very, very kind of emotion that is directly related to the individual, right? So that time you can be very active, and it that trait of personality called as an extrovert, right? But you go to a very conducive environment where at your workplace, for example, you went to your workplace which is highly, we can call it like it is not friendly, maybe you're feeling difficulty, and sometimes you want to vent out your agony, but there is no one to listen there, or the power structures are so strong that you keep very quiet, right? This is one example. Or the child comes to a school and the school environment is not making him or her to open up with the ideas. For example, the teacher is not taking any note of the child, or all the time the teacher is discouraging the child to certain areas. For example, they got the one child got a doubt, and they want to ask the teacher that I am unable to understand the concept. This is small example I'm giving you. Second time the teacher tried to explain that. The moment the teacher was giving an explanation, the student got another doubt. Normally good teachers will always make some space, but when the student is continuously disturbing the class, then the teacher thinks like this is not the way, and they will forcefully make the student to sit. Maybe if it happens once and twice, the child will again come back to normal emotion. But if it is constantly happening, then the child will stop questioning. Then the child is not going to express the his doubts or her doubts in front of the class. Or if they are very shy to ask the questions again, or there is a kind of intro, like what the other students will think, am I an intelligent, am I not an intelligent, then why should I ask? If I ask, everyone will laugh at me. This type of ideas will make the child not to open up. This may happen in the classroom, or this may happen even in the social gatherings, or even it may happen in the um, working environment. For example, if an organization is there, an employee is working there, and they are very free, with a free will, the worker wanted to ask a question to the organization, or the employee got a doubt regarding some assignment. They went to the higher authorities, and they kept the facts in front of them, and they started to question the organization, or wanted an explanation from the organization why this is happening, right? The words I'm using very cautiously. They want an explanation for whatever the action that has taken, but generally the power structures will not allow certain kinds of they cannot entertain because of the rule positions. So generally, then obvious that employee gets very disappointed. Even at that point of time also, the employee keep quiet. Doesn't mean like the same person was very happy in the closed circles, or he or she is very, very lively in the other point of time, because the environment is different. When you see, the child is not going to be the same child when the emotions are not properly addressed. The same thing happens in the society, the same thing happens in the social gatherings, the same may be repeated even in the workplaces as well. So we are trying to see why there is a different traits as per the Sigmund Freud, like introvert and extrovert. These are two words which are which are commonly used even in our daily life, right? It may vary as well. That's what the environment is going to decide generally, whether the person is going to open up or the person is going to be a closed personality, right? Okay, let us go to the next concept, and another neo-Freudian neo-Freud philosopher. Social learning theorists also believe that external events are important determiners of personality. However, unlike traditional behavior, social learning theorists emphasize our cognitive interpretation of external events to fit our memories, beliefs, and expectations. According to Albert Bandura, our own consistent pattern of responding in various situations, in our words, our personality style reflects our observational learning. The process by whereby we learn patterns of behavior simply by observing people. See, the idea here is how people behave when they observe certain situations. That's what Albert Bandura says. Bandura also used the concept of reciprocal determinism, which suggests that our personality are shaped by interaction between cognitive factors and environmental factors. He also believed that self efficacy, our belief that we can perform adequately and deal efficiently with situation, greatly influences. The keywords you can observe, I think, how you perform adequately. That means, as per the situations, are you adequately equipped with the skill? The first one is the skill. The second one is, depending on the situation, how your efficiency is going to change. These are two things that we should always keep in mind, right? Okay, these are, I'm just giving a bird's eye view of what exactly different psychologists, depending on their theories, that we are trying to see and understand an individual personality trait, right? We are going for the second, another theorist, Abraham Maslow's. Is a very famous personality in the psychology, because we always go about with Maslow's theory of motivation and personality, emphasizes people's positive striving towards intimacy, right? How intimate you are with that. For example, Maslow's theory of motivation. And what can be a trait? For example, when you're having this kind of positive strivings, we call, towards intimacy, joy, love, sense of belonging, self esteem. See, when a person is happy, when they are enjoying the environment, when they are comfortable with the other individual, or when they are understanding the environment, then generally the person wanted to be very comfortable, right? Very, very comfortably they will work. But if you don't find any respect, because self esteem is very, very important, not only in the working environment but all over the life. If you are encouraging the person by stating like, you're doing a good work, if some work is not done properly, let them be in a position that you can ask them in a better way to do that. But if you scold them, or if you start hating them, then the same thing will be returned in course of time. That will show an effect on the world, right? On the work as well. So other theories that we can see here, and there is a table in page number 7. What are the traits and how it defines? For example, openness, the tendency. This is one point that we should, the five factor model, which is a dominant concept of personality structure, is in the contemporary society, or we can call it contemporary psychology. What is this five factor model? If you are trying to see the book here, then you can have the page number 7, where you can see what are these five traits of personality. The first one, big five traits, we call it as big five traits. The first is openness. What is openness? Why we need an openness? For example, I'm just giving a definition, but we are sticking to the exam only, not only to the definition, but also we are going further with some more examples, right? What are the five traits are? Openness, consciousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuro neurotism, right? The first is openness, the tendency to appreciate new art, ideas, values, feelings, and behaviors. See, we see this kind of personality in different places as well, right? The tendency to appreciate. You appreciate the openness of the people, and you are appreciating the new ideas, appreciating the values, feelings, and others. That means you are not judgmental, you're not criticizing, but you're keeping everything in a more positive environment. So that's what we call open mindedness, right? Openness, where it is encouraging to see and work with this kind of people, especially when you're in the working environment. We need this kind of people, and in the society also. See, all the time we have enough of critics all over around, and people will speak whether good or bad, even if it is intended or not, just because they make an opinion and they'll spread as well. But this should not be there in an open minded person. So how you appreciate new ideas, that's what new education policy is also encouraging by stating like, you must be doing a research in a multifaceted way, and the skills should be utilized in different, and it should be multidisciplinary, intradisciplinary, and interdisciplinary as well. See, this is very complicated words. I'm just giving you the not only the words but essence as well. You have to go back, search for this kind of words in the dictionary, or you can Google wherever it is important, because everything cannot be taught inside the classroom. But we are just giving you a bird's eye view where you can go about with different kinds of understanding the psychology, understanding the personality traits, and how we have to go about with our life, with our personal life, and how to do with our work life balance as well, right? Okay, let me go for, I think I'm going little fast, I'll go slow. uh I don't find anyone here, but it's almost 3:45. We are coming to the fag end of another part, where we completed the first unit, and we are going to the second unit in this. See, assessment of personality. So, in this, see, the questions may be from this as well. How we are going to assess the personality, and why it is important to assess a personality, because some people will have angry issues. They may turn up, they may see certain kind of traits, and these all are going to influence not only their personal life, but also in the society as well. As that's what we call it, starts with personal and becomes a general, and at end of the day the individual is going to suffer, and the person is going to make the others suffer because of the eh, unstable personality. So these are certain things that we should understand. Coming to the second unit, understanding self. See, this is the word itself is a self. That means it is I, self. Maybe it is a highly philosophical word, the concept of self, right? Okay, let us see what is this self concept. We will understand the theory of self, the theories related to self, which are often discussed and practiced and stem from the point of Carl Rogers, right? Self concept can be defined as the set of perceptions and beliefs that one has about oneself, which includes their nature, personal qualities, and their typical behavior. It could be simply understood as the individual belief about himself or herself, including the person's attributes, who and what the self is. According to Rogers, people are motivated to act in abundance with their self concept. They evaluate every experience in relation to his or self concept. He started the self concept of all the ideas. So, this is some point or the other. We should be able to see why this concept of self, how to understand the self, and what is the self awareness, right? So self awareness can be broadly understood as a process of practice of reflection and evaluation during individual expression. However, self expression on self awareness is not merely the possession of conscious awareness of oneself, that which is no different from the level of self awareness possessed by the animals, but it is, this is important point, please do remember, it is the process of acknowledging a state where one actively identifies, processes, and stores information about the self. It is not merely explicitly conscious of what one is doing, but being self aware is reflecting on the experience being perceived and the stimulus being processed. See, it's a wonderful idea to see. uh, a lot of things whenever we are alone. I think all the students or even the child, if they are sitting alone, they play with different toys, but they are more interested in some toys and they are not interested in certain toys. But what kind of environment we are giving to the child matters to their growth, right? So it is directly proportionate to that as well. So there are certain kinds of theories that we discussed in unit 2 as well. Go about with page number 19. You can see what is knowledge and how known self, that means open self, blind self, hidden self, and unknown self. There is a diagram, Johari's window we call it as. And what is this open self information? Johari's windows is very important to understand the personality. It is to understand the personality trait of an individual. Johari's window state on Johari's window starts with a table where you can clearly see which part of your personality is strong, right? So it starts with open self, known to the others, known to the self. It's very clear. You understand what you are, and it is open self. That means you are open to ideas, and both you and the other knows about you. Blind self, only you know about it, but others are not aware. Information about you that you don't know, but others do know. Next is hidden self. Information about you that you know, but others don't know. Unknown self. Information about you that neither you nor others know. So, see, this is very important in understanding the self Joris window, and some information regarding how you see self esteem, because certain points are given here and discussed in page number 21. Gaining control, what are some ways of self esteem? Or gaining control, learning to relax, boosting the morale, learning to channel stressors positively, learning to be assertive. Excuse me. See, some of the ways to improve self esteem are gaining control. It is important not to be critical, but oneself before others, while confiding in others and trusting them with one's. Am I audible? I'm not sure. Am I audible? Okay, let me go with the concept here. While confiding in others and trusting them with one's concern is useful, appreciating oneself, counting the things that one can do well is a sure way to start improving the self esteem. Learning to relax, giving oneself time every day as part of the daily routine to relax and learn about the good things in life and not to complain about negative things in life is important. So, giving oneself time every day as a part of daily routine. The word routine is a key word here, because we are running around in the world with lot of we are all busy. Maybe in the morning we start up, even for a child they have to go to the school, the stress of homework and the stress of a child carries lot of stress regarding the marks, grades, and which institution they are going to get, how to get the employment. So the stress is a part of, but the stress is going to be above the line, then you don't find any. You find issues related to that, anxiety related to that kind of an attitude, right? So relax is a word. It's not only a word, but we should practice it routinely in our life. So daily routine. comes boosting the morale. So, appreciating one's own self or commending oneself for the small milestones that one has paused in a life is a mandatory job. It brings about a positive outlook to life that can improve the overall perfections of self and the environment. Learning to channel stressors positively when under stress due to extra workload, etc., to try and convert the extra energy that one gathers to do things with a great enthusiasm and intensity is important. So try to see from if you are trying to see when you want to boost your self-esteem and trying to be open-minded, these are all some positive traits that we can understand. If you undergo the stress, if the student or the person undergoes the stress, the anxiety levels will grow, and that may be reflected in the performance as well. So what is the point of having healthy relationship is having good understanding about own self and also having self confidence. So let us see what is the self confidence is all about. We all speak about the self confidence in trying to see the ability to cope up with different environments, ability to cope up with different situations, and a lot of things are there that will be running around with. So the second chapter is completely focusing from the self, and interpersonal skills is the third chapter, which starts with communications, what kind of communications are important, verbal communication, how you're going to do, no, generally that means we are speaking to each other. And non-verbal communication is something by your body language, gestures, your gaze, and how relaxed the body is, how confident you are, and what kind of eye contact you got with the other individual. This all is going to display in your non-verbal communication. How to develop interpersonal skills: smile and be appreciative, these are certain points that interpersonal. Listen actively and pay attention, resolve conflicts, communicate clearly, and use humor. See, whenever the lecture is happening, the narrative style will be different. For example, if you are talking to the person more attentively, you are listening to them, then there is a kind of bondage between you and the other person. That means you are listening to them, that means you are paying some respect to their idea or to their words. That makes the person to have a mutual cooperation, right? Smile and be appreciate, listen actively, pay attention, resolving conflicts, communicate clearly, and use humor. So this is very important. A lot of things happen because of the miscommunication. Miscommunication happens when you are unable to explain your ideas, then comes this problem. Like you are not going to you are not going to what you call um, address the ideas of why this is happening, something like that. Okay, communicate clearly and use humor, and understand others and avoid complaining. Planning, research, self promotion, communicate effectively, think creatively, these are certain interpersonal skills to improve, right? And follow up, be organized, teamwork, use of interpersonal skills are very important. And what kind of barriers you find, right? In the effective communication we find lot of barriers. So these are certain things that you should remember. And clearly it is given in the unit 3, where elements of interpersonal communications and what kind of barriers you face and how to improve or come out of that lacuna. Some points are clearly given, so that it's not only for the examination point of view, but you'll be understanding that in you can practice that even in your personal life. Coming to the last unit of this block, know your emotions. See, what is the reason? And the whole life depends on emotions, right? There is a basic set of emotions, and we generally start with affection is also an emotion, fear is an emotion, happiness is an emotion, and different kinds of sets of emotion we have, how it functions also. And depending on the mood and basic, for example, if you are alert, if you are listening, if you are excited, or if you are calm and relaxed,
your mood is going to be different. If you're happy, then the environment and the mood is different. Highly positive effect, that means alert, excited, and happy. These are high positive effectiveness. Whereas low and negative is you are keeping very serene, you are not relaxed, and at the same time you are depressed, you are sad. These are considered as low positive effects. It's not like we always have an, there is an oscillation between in our own lives, right? When you are energetic in the morning, you'll be feeling very happy, and things are going very well. Then all these things happen in a positive way. But when it comes to our emotions, generally we have different kinds of emotions. Joy or happiness, you found something important to you, contentment, everything is okay. And you become sad, anger, and anxieties, because these are all some ideas, sorry, that basic emotions that comes to us in our own life, right? Dear students, I'm very happy that you are able to be there. Of course, it is going to be recorded, and you'll get lot of information in your textbook as well, which is called, this is what the textbook is: personality development and soft skills. So you are trying to see this book. I think I can show you this as well. Is it clear? So I don't think it is very clear. Maybe the resolution is not clear. I think, yeah. I think this is personality development and soft skills, and you should be able to see that in a proper way. And so these are certain things that we should be discussing in our class one. And this is the first block that we were trying to understand from the personality development and soft skills. So next week we'll be discussing soft skills as well. Thank you so much, and trust you'll be if you listen to this, and if you are going to read, then it will be more beneficial to you. Thank you so much.